What a ride it has been over the last 2 or so years, and the man that's been at the helm of Australia's rise back to the top is the Australian skipper, Tim Paine, and he's been good enough to join us this morning. Tim, great to have you on the show. I know a busy morning in your household on Mother's Day, but thanks for joining us.
No problems. Thanks for having me.
Look, you just saw there what has been quite a ride for you and the team over the last 2 years after what unfolded in South Africa. How's this all sitting with you, knowing over the last 10 days that you are back on top where you want to be?
Yeah, I think it's been a really nice, reward for a lot of hard work. We've come from, I think, probably 4th or 5th ranked team in the world to retain the Ashes, and now to be back at the number one spot is a great reward for a lot of hard work. But we've set out as a team to win the Test Championship. So hopefully after this coronavirus stuff all goes away, that can continue and we can keep building towards that, which is our number one goal.
Tim, there's been so much uncertainty about international cricket at the end of this year, but the thing we're all salivating about is the possibility of the India series. It might be in front of no crowds. Virat Kohli has said overnight that it'll lose the magic. Is he an easier player to play in front of no crowds or with the crowds as an emotional juggernaut that he is?
It's a difficult one. I think Virat's going to be good no matter where you play him and no matter who's watching. He's a competitive beast. We've seen that a number of times. And along with Steve Smith, probably the standout batsman of our generation. So what it is going to be, whether there's crowds there or not, it's going to be on TV. And to see those two and going at it, and these two teams who probably at the moment are the two best teams in the world, is going to be a fascinating duel. They obviously came out last year and cleaned us up, but we've added some quality players back into our side. There's no doubt about that, and we've been playing really well for an extended period of time now. So it's a mouth-watering series coming up, and I'm sure players and fans are looking forward to it.
Yeah, Tim, just touching back on that journey that you spoke about the last 18 months to 2 years that your team have gone through, both on and off the field, what were some of the key sort of focus areas you and your leadership group with Justin Langer, the coach, thought that you really need to put your focus and time and energy into to really turn that, a form around on the field, but also these standards off the field as well?
Yeah, I think, JL was really strong on our behaviour. That was probably the first thing. He's really driven us, I suppose, and ridden us about not only being great cricketers, but about being great people and great Australians. And, we set out right at the start of his tenure as coach to make Australians proud again and to have our nation fall back in love with cricket. And I think the last sort of 18 months to 2 years, we've managed to do that. We know we've got to continue to improve and work on, our behaviour and, any going forward, it's really important to us that continues. We want to be obviously the best team in the world. We want to win as many cricket games and series as we can, but it's also important to us the way we go about it.
Tim, to that point, you're saying that Justin was focusing on Australians falling back in love with cricket. I can imagine that this break from the game has helped you maybe create some perspective around the game. Has it refreshed your love of the game, and have you seen that within the rest of your teammates?
Well, no, this time of year for us is always a bit of a holiday, so it's kind of been a bit strange. Apart from being stuck in at home, it hasn't changed a hell of a lot. A lot for me this period. I normally have these 5 or 6 weeks off at home anyway. So, look, I'm certainly, like everyone, I guess, missing workmates and friends and teammates and that social aspect that us Australians love. So I'm certainly looking forward to that over the next coming months coming back. But certainly my love of the game of cricket is as strong as it's ever been. I'm sure my teammates are all the same. We're all looking forward to getting back into it when we can.
Tim, there's been a lot of talk about the financial state of Australian cricket at the moment, just how much it is hinging on the success and even the happening of this Indian series later this year. How is, I guess, the relationship at the moment between the playing group and Cricket Australia officials over how this has been handled and perhaps what's to come?
Yeah, look, I think it's fine. I think, there's been a lot of stuff in the media about it, but, my phone calls, I know phone calls have been had and emails with Cricket Australia staff and players have been fine. I think everyone's on the same page. We want our game to thrive well into the future, and obviously the financial side of that is really important to that. So look, we've been talking behind closed doors with the ACA and Cricket Australia, and everyone's on the same page. We want to make sure, as I said, that our game thrives well into the future, and everyone's going to have to take a part in that. How that looks at the moment, we're not too sure. Obviously, financially, it's the Indian series is a huge piece of that puzzle, and if we can get that over the line, then we'll be certainly in a much better position financially.
Tim, we've seen this COVID-19 impact so many different things, but there's talk around how you guys are going to celebrate taking a wicket. No bum taps, no high fives and that type of thing. How are you going to go with not being able to celebrate with your teammates?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. I think more so probably for the bowlers. I think the batters and me as a wicket keeper, we've always got gloves on, so we're okay. But yeah, certainly for the bowlers, I'm not sure. Maybe it is. It's going to be very different. Maybe. Again, one of the luxuries we've got is we'll get to watch the AFL boys and the NRL boys run around before us, so we'll be able to probably steal a few ideas off them.
Tim, isolation has led many of us to do some very interesting things at home. Can I ask you to lift your cap up off your head for us here on Sports Sunday this morning?
No, that won't be happening.
I had a feeling that might be the case.
Yes. No, isolation's got the best of me there. And it was one of those things. I thought it was a great idea at the time, and then as soon as I did it, I was like, I'm not sure what I'm doing here. So, look, like any bad haircut, you're only one cut away from a good one, eh?
So true.
Got a bit of time.
What else has been happening in the Paine household in your downtime?
Not a lot. I've got a 1-year-old and a 2-year-old, so they tend to keep me pretty busy. We've had a few tantrums this morning, actually. I'm surprised you can't hear them just at the moment. But, yeah, look, we've just been going for a few walks, playing in the backyard. That's about it, to be honest. It's been very quiet, but it has been good. Obviously, as a cricketer, you spend a lot of time on the road. So for me to be home for 6-7 weeks without leaving has been really good.
One of the advantages of becoming successful in sport is your opportunity to then give back and leave a bit of a legacy. I see you've become an ambassador for the Beacon Foundation. What are some of the messages that you're sharing with the kids to help them through these uncertain times?
Yeah, I have. I've joined up with the Beacon Foundation and the program's called Be Connected. So we've got 12 webinars running over the next 2 or 3 months where, we're speaking to sort of Australian teenagers about their careers and basically just trying to connect them and inspire them to chase their dreams. So I did one a few weeks ago now. It was on about sort of the life skills that I've learnt from sport and cricket and things like that I can transfer now into a career beyond sport. And, we've got some fantastic people involved in the program who are also going to be speaking in the next few weeks, which is awesome. So, for me, it was a great opportunity to give back and to help out.
Tim, been great to have you on the program. Congratulations on getting the team back to #1 in the world, and enjoy a special day with Bonnie and the kids.
Will do. Thanks for having me.
Australian captain Tim Paine joining us live here on Sports Sunday with the cap well and truly firmly on his head. Stay with us. Still